Allie Finale Studios. Game reviews.
A cult, you say? A murder in a cozy English village? A town of kooky characters? The only question is, who done it? Today we investigate the PC game Contradiction, Spot the Liar.
My name is Jenks, Detective Inspector Frederick Jenks, and I've been assigned to a last-minute investigation into the death of Kate Vine, a PhD student found drowned at midnight last Friday in a lake in the woods on the outskirts of the tiny village of Edenton. I have until first thing tomorrow morning to decide whether her death was a simple accident or whether this was murder.
During the course of Contradiction, you step into the gumshoes of Jenks, an investigator tasked with solving the recent murder of college student Kate Vine. Throughout the course of the game, you'll interview different suspicious characters in the fictional town of Edenton.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Contradiction is a simple point-and-click FMV game filled with murder, cheesiness, and intrigue. It's like you're playing one of those murder mystery dinner parties. And I mean that in the best way possible, too.
Right. What didn't you like about the course?
Well, it was stupid. They just made you do things to other people and be abusive just to prove that you could, and I absolutely hated it.
What sort of things?
FMV games are full motion video for those who don't know. They're the type of games that make you feel like you're playing a movie. FMV games are honestly the perfect kind of games to play right now because they're short, atmospheric, and they make you feel like you're in the room with the actors. If you have never played an FMV game, I highly recommend this one to start with. It has an easy interface that isn't too difficult to figure out, and there aren't too many QuickTime events to throw you off. It's very fun and super relaxed in pacing, and the puzzles are relatively simple. Good news, you won't have to wait long between scenes. There are no crazy load times here. Contradiction is a short game that you could easily knock out within a night, so grab a few beers and play with friends. The acting in this is not for everyone. I, however, love the cheesy and over-the-top acting and fun. All the characters that were cast as different suspects in the town played their parts perfectly, especially Jenks. He was exceptionally fun and charming.
You didn't see her outside Atlas at all. Know anything about Simon Thompson's homebrew? I've listened to that CD, and it very clearly mentions threshold testing. You keep batting this away, Paul. We don't really use hypnosis. The students aren't really tested, but I am this close to launching a full-scale investigation.
I mean, look at this man. He's having the time of his life.
As for the other actors in Contradiction,
they have been cross-cast in other FMV projects like The Shape-Shifting Detective. They've become FMV kings and queens. I mean, just look at these expressions.
Can honestly say I've never done anything like that, Inspector.
Sure about that?
Scout's honor.
This was, unfortunately, actor Paul Darrow's last project before he passed. Look at the intensity of his performance as Paul Rand in this game. I do not want to be in the same room as this man.
I'm not aware that there's a law against buying presents unless, of course, the Third Reich has been elected while I was at a bridge party.
He was incredibly talented, from playing in Shakespeare shows to being the voice of Zarok in the medieval games series, both the PS1 and PSP versions.
He's back! And he says he's looking forward to shooting you in the other eye. You know, for old time's sake. And while Lord K prepares for your rematch, he sent some of his soldiers so you don't get bored.
He went on to have prominent roles in TV series like Doctor Who, the Robin Hood miniseries, Law and Order, The Saint, and playing lead Avon in Blake 7. Maybe I should do an underrated actor series on him.
go watch the underrated actor series. Links below.
Neither is Contradiction super long or difficult. With one exception, slight spoiler here, the final puzzle. It felt like the difficulty ramped up quite a bit out of nowhere. On the downside, there were statements made by suspects that were obvious contradictions that you could not use. It was so frustrating to see them right there and for Jinx to be like, nah, sorry bruh. This might be something that will trip a few people up, but seeing as you're playing a detective, make sure to pay close attention to what people say. Going back through everyone's interviews and trying to find their contradictions through trial and error would be a major pain. Also, be prepared for a lot of back and forth between interviewees. You will see Jinx go through the same doors over and over again.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Thank you. Probably be back later. Be back later on, if that's okay. A few more questions, please.
There was a resurgence of FMV games in 2017. Why? Night Trap got re-released recently and is an FMV darling. It prompted people to ask, why should FMV still be around? Well, it puts actors to use and can age much better than motion capture. Also, it feels like the characters are that much more real, as you are actively participating in a play right along with them. I wish more games like this existed, like Night Trap, Wirehead, and Her Story, which recently came out. There are so many fun FMV games out there. Go play them! Tom Folin, the director of this game, actually created the music for Lemmings and Starsky and Hutch, before becoming a director of photography. When 2012 rolled around, he decided to dust off that idea he had for a murder mystery game and filmed Contradiction. I think it was Folin's expertise in photography and film that led to the creativity of this game. Also, the quality of footage is so cinematic that Contradiction really feels like you're playing a movie. You're right there with the actors in the action. Also, because Tom Folin is very audio-oriented, he made sure that all of the music and ambient noise is on point. I mean, for example, this bar scene. I really feel like I'm there due to the ambient sounds. In short, Contradiction is a fun little romp that is best played with a group. So, turn down those lights, get snuggled up under that blanket, and venture into the murders of Edenton Village. Are you ready to solve the mystery of Kate Vine's death? Did you enjoy this game review? Like and subscribe. Want to talk more games and movies with me? Leave a comment below. Until next time, my charming creatures, Allie over and out.